crafters, thanks for joining me here in the attic. So pull up a chair, grab your favorite beverage, and we'll get to crafting and memory keeping. Welcome to Fairy Wings and Forgotten Things. If this is your first time here, this is a magical fairy collaboration that I am hosting in my Facebook group. All the information is down in the description box, and there is also a complete playlist if you would like to go back. There's still 2 weeks left where you can go back, check out all the information on how to join in on the collaboration, and come over to my Facebook group to enter to win the prizes at the end of the month. If you caught yesterday's day 15, you know that Professor Fernscribe ran into some issues. She ran into a group of fairy trolls. If you didn't catch that video, I encourage you to go over, check it out, and see what happened with Professor Fernscribe. But also, that yesterday's official fairy guide was Rain, so be sure to go over and check out Rain's Instagram account so you see what the official prompt and token were. And today, be sure to go over and check out Chaos's Creations Facebook group to see what she has in store and grab your official fairy token for today. If you saw yesterday's video, you know that Professor Fernscribe did receive something magical at the end of her adventure with the trolls. It has allowed her to slow down time around her, so she will be able to visit 2 worlds in one day. So for today, she will visit the Earth Fae and learn more about the mossy rocks, and then travel into the world of the Tinkerlings to find the thimble. So let's grab our supplies and get started. Professor Fernscribe discovered that the river stone the trolls gave her at the end of day 15 did allow her to magically slow down time to where she could go into 2 worlds all in the same day. But our mortal world doesn't like for us to do that, so I'm having to take what she did and just present it in a way that our mortal world will allow. So let me tell you a little bit about what happened here. Got a tag and a little paper clip that I'll attach to day 16 along with day 15 story of the river trolls and the river stone, and it'll just fit right on that page. I've got little tags in the tag pocket. Of the river trolls she met on her adventure. And then for day 16, her first half of day 16, I've taken the card and just stamped it 16A, as this is the first half. The kit I used here is from Nate at Peach Domino. This is his Earth Fairies. I've just taken some of his ephemera, fussy cut that out. I used some of the pages to do some layering, and this is a background page from my kit. This was one of his pages. I did some fussy cutting around this fairy and created a tuck spot for my daily information card. And for my prompt of the day, which is the mossy rocks, I used Grip Paste Crypt and the stencil here that came from Tim Holtz from Stampers Anonymous. I believe I got that at Joann's, so that is obviously not available at Joann's anymore, but it probably is still available through Stampers Anonymous and some other craft stores. And I stenciled my background here of the cobblestone stones, and then I took some of the Distress Oxide Forest Moss and I tinted the grit paste and come back and put my mossy texture right on the stones here. I used some netting and backed the Earth Fae tag. And so that takes care of day 16A. So let's look at what Professor Fernscribe has to tell us today. Day 16A. I arrived in the world of the elemental Earth Fae. The mossy rocks. Environmental notes. Subterranean grotto alive with roots, fungi and mosses. Air dense with loam scent. Temperature consistent and mild. Stalactites drip slowly, forming mineral pools. Cultural observations. The Earth Fae are stout, resembling bark and stone, clothed in living moss, slow to speak, deliberate in thought, reverent towards soil and rock. Rituals. Dawn offerings of stones placed in spirals. Artifact notes. The moss rocks are small stones overgrown with velvety moss. When placed on bare ground, moss spreads rapidly, rejuvenating soil. Hypothesis. Catalyst for renewal, accelerated growth cycles. Narrative encounter. Led into a cavern lit by faint green glow, I watched as Earth Fae placed rocks into a spiral. With each placement, the moss bloomed outward, reclaiming barren ground. One rock was lifted and placed reverently in my hand. Its weight was grounding, yet with it pulsed a subtle energy, seed of earth itself, promising life will reclaim what is broken. So that is the end of the first part of Professor Fernscribe's Day 16. And as Professor Fernscribe has traveled through Day 16, we arrive in the world of the Tinkerlings. The kit I used here is from Ashley at Tea Garden Paper Crafts. And what I did is I did some layering with her background pages and the journal pages. I took one of the pockets here and created a tuck pocket for my daily card to fit in, and took some of her fussy cuts and made little clusters. Here I backed this cluster with some embroidery thread, and here I backed this cluster with some dyed netting and some more fussy cuts. And I fussy cut around these pages to add some added interest to the page. And then I came back with the embroidery thread and did some slow stitching around the edge of these fussy cuts using a back stitch. I did that at the corner here and then completely around this embellishment here. And so let's see what Professor Fernscribe has to tell us about the final part of her journey for Day 16. Day 16B, World of the Tinkerlings. The Thimble. Environmental notes. Dense thickets filled with miniature workshops inside hollow reeds. Nutshells and thistle stems. Air smells of oil and resin. Rhythmic tap of tiny hammers consistent. Cultural observations. The Tinkerlings are diminutive, goggle-eyed fae, perpetually busy with contraptions of wood, metal, and bone. Highly collaborative, social order. Disputes settled through invention duels. Artifact notes. The thimble is forged from silver, etched with runes invisible until struck by light. When worn, magnifies dexterity and precision of the hand. Hypothesis. Tool of mastery, enabling stitches that carry enchantment. Narrative encounter. I found the tinkerlings arguing over the best design for a kettle spout. One argued efficiency, the other elegance. At my suggestion, they combined both, producing a spout both graceful and swift. Pleased, they awarded me a thimble that shimmered like starlight. As I slipped it on, my hand grew steadier, my stitches surer. No trinket, but a key to perfect craft. And that ends day 16 for Professor Fernscribe. Hopefully she doesn't run into any other encounters with trolls during her adventures or any other Fae characters that might slow her quest. So be sure to hit that subscription button and the notification bell so you'll be notified anytime I put up any new content, and be sure to come back and join me again tomorrow to see where Professor Fernscribe goes for day 17. So until next time, y'all take care.